that will show. And happy Thanksgiving. It's November already. Okay, I'm excited for our show today because we're talking all things hormones. And such a hot topic. Literally. It's going to be hot in here. It's going to be hot. Right. I mean, if y'all knew what we were just talking about, I don't know. But anyway.
That's for blooper reels.
We're going to keep it PG, exactly. But hormones, I mean, everybody's got them. And so it's important for all of us. And we have, Young Living, we have amazing supplements to help support our hormones. From, Ningxia Red's sitting here because it always should be sitting here. Every cell in our bodies need it, including our endocrine system and all the endocrine glands. But we have amazing supplements like Endogize. Endogize, Power Gize for the guys. Women can take Power Gize as well. But our focus with all these wonderful hormone and endocrine system supporting supplements is that all of these products do support all the various endocrine glands in our bodies. And so my favorite, I've got a couple favorites. CortiStop is one of my favorites right now because it's been an intense season, fall and leading up to holidays, and there's so many things going on, and sometimes I feel a little stressed, and so
CortiStop for the holiday shopper in your life.
exactly. And so for me, when I take it personally before bed, because you can take it in the morning, you can take it before bed, and for me before bed, it's like all of that stress, it melts away.
Yes.
And I can my brain turns off, and I don't know why I didn't use it so much sooner in my 16 plus years in Young Living, but it is something more recently that I created a habit with, and it changed everything for me.
And it needs to be taken at night because you want cortisol in the morning. You want to get up and go. You want to have that. Yeah. I have this reason to move my body, and so CortiStop for the really helping you to stop, relax, and it's so important we get that sleep at night to affect our hormones.
Absolutely, and cortisol is one of those. When cortisol, when your stress is increased, cortisol increases, and it robs pregnenolone from creating the other hormones that your body's needing to create more of itself, and so that can affect other hormone levels.
Also, stress is different for different people. So, stress is anything that stirs up that fight or flight thing, the adrenaline rush and that. So it's not just about shopping or families or jobs. It can also be about video gaming. So this time of year, I spend a lot of time on video games because it's family time. My family time is we're on video games, and some of our video games are stressful because there is an adrenaline rush. And so I find that when I am in this season of a lot of gaming that I do need my CortiStop because I am triggering. I'm all in. When I'm playing, I'm all in, and I'm triggering all that. So it's good to have that CortiStop to flush out all that extra adrenaline from my adrenaline rush.
It's packed full of all the DHEA, which are the building blocks of all your hormones. And so when you give yourself that to go to bed with and you wake up, your body has taken all those building blocks and balanced all your hormones out.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Another thing that has been game changer for my family is the Endoflex Vitality. Oh my word, it's sitting somewhere over here, but I can tell stories all day long, but Endoflex, you added to the Ningxia Red, it supports the endocrine system. We also will take our Endoflex oil and rub it over the thyroid, on the temples and the back of the neck. I always get my oils as close to where I'm needing them to go, and so we'll rub them on the abdomen, the inside of the ankles for girls, outside of the ankles for boys. And it just is one of those things, if there's a lot of tension in the house, preteens, teens, all of a sudden, get Endoflex on and everybody's chill. That works for adults, that works for toddlers,
yes,
it works for
teenagers. And I'd like to come back to boys, because we talked about endocrine system. Everybody's like, oh, girls and hormones. Boys have hormones too, and they need the Endoflex support equally or as more.
And can we
I have
just
two
say,
girls and 2 boys, so I know.
can we just say, if you're going to be in a car with any human being, you need Endoflex. I literally, we were going on a trip, had to leave, forgot something. I could sense some angst in the car, and so when I went back in the house to get it, I went by and I made sure I had Endoflex in my pocket, and I didn't say anything. I just passed it around because everybody knows you need to go spend some time with you and Endoflex and Jesus, or we're all gonna have a problem. So
was a
everybody
trip, not a
puts their
vacation,
Endoflex on. No, my children know that when I hand them Endoflex, they better put it on because it is
Right.
important. Yeah, it's like an unsaid message.
Science!
Hey Talia, what's up?
My stress levels, that's what.
Oh, don't be stressed. You know, some rocks turn to diamonds under stress.
Well, what about other rocks?
Oh, they just turn to dust. Hi, I'm Wendy,
And I'm Talia.
and this
Is
is
the
the Science
Science
Highlight. Now, we are just joking around, but stress is no joke when it comes to how it affects your hormones. Cortisol is a hormone that your adrenal glands produce when you are under stress. You need cortisol, but if your cortisol is out of balance, it can be harmful to your health. Today's Science Highlight is brought to you by stress, your hormones, and the hormone called cortisol. We're going to take a look today at Young Living's CortiStop. Cortisol can affect nearly every organ system in your body, including the nervous system, the immune system, the cardiovascular system, all the systems. Cortisol triggers the release of glucose from your liver for fast energy during times of stress. You know, the whole thing when the tiger's running after you and you can run really fast? That's happening all the time when your cortisol levels are high. Cortisol helps control how your body uses fats, proteins, and carbohydrates for energy. And having consistently high levels of cortisol can lead to inflammation and a weakened immune system. So how can we support our bodies to help keep balanced cortisol levels in times of stress? Here's a few tips. The research says that prioritizing your sleep may be an effective way to reduce cortisol levels. Chronic sleep issues have been associated with higher cortisol. So establish a bedtime routine. Stop drinking caffeine 6 hours before bedtime. Avoid nicotine and alcohol. Limit exposure to bright light at night. Just do what you can to get a good night's sleep. 2. Exercise regularly. Regular exercise has been shown in numerous studies to help improve sleep quality, reduce stress, and improve overall health, which can lower cortisol over time. 3. Practice deep, controlled breathing. It stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps to lower cortisol levels. And number 4. Make sure your body has enough DHEA and pregnenolone, which are precursor hormones. These are the building blocks that your body uses to make all your other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, etc. When your body is under stress, studies show that cortisol levels rise and DHEA levels decrease. And there are studies that show that DHEA supplementation has cortisol lowering effects. DHEA and cortisol are the most abundant hormones released by the adrenal glands, and both play a role in the stress response. Essentially, DHEA opposes or offsets the effects of cortisol. Research on stress suggests that understanding the DHEA-cortisol ratio may be the key to understanding how we respond to stress. Studies show that a high DHEA to cortisol ratio may reduce the negative impacts to stress, but in comparison, subjects with low DHEA to cortisol ratio were more vulnerable to symptoms of stress. Other studies show that DHEA supplementation has cortisol lowering effects. So again, we're going to want to lower that cortisol by supplementing our body with the DHEA, the building blocks we need to help provide all the hormones that our bodies need to make. So this is why Young Living's CortiStop is such a good tool to help you support your balanced hormones. It helps the body maintain balance and harmony.
Here are a few of the other ingredients in CortiStop. Pregnenolone,
Pregnenolone is a precursor hormone that increases the production of all hormones in the body.
L-A-phosphatidylserine. Try saying that 5 times fast.
This supports healthy mental function.
L-A-phosphatidylcholine.
That supports healthy memory function as well.
Black cohosh.
Supports menopause and PMS, healthy insulin levels, healthy bone density levels, and emotional balance.
DHEA.
This is derived from wild yam root. It's a precursor hormone that supports healthy brain function, emotions, libido, and muscle and bone mass.
And of course, what Young Living supplement would be complete without a list of essential oils? Clary sage, Canadian fleabane, fennel, frankincense, and peppermint.
These are all hormone-supporting oils. Since we're talking about hormones today, we felt it was really important to mention this hormone-supporting and balancing product because it's a real tool that you can use in your natural health tool chest to keep your hormones balanced and happy.
Right now, I'm actually loving PD 8020.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yes. Well, it's actually it's kind of similar to CortiStop, except doesn't have all of the. It's got the pregnenolone and the DHEA. That's what the P and the D is for, and it's 80 and 20. And basically, it's those two things, and it's the building block of all of your hormones. So whatever your body needs, it's going to take that and it's going to, make your hormones balance out. Instead of just saying, oh, you need this, you need progesterone, or you need testosterone, or you need whatever, that gives you a building block where your body says, okay, well, I'm going to do what I need to do with this. It's different for everybody. So, yeah.
That PD 80/20, what I noticed for me, I'm 49, so I'm right on that, things are changing a little bit. And I've always been able to balance completely with Progestins Plus. Like, that's all I ever needed. And then I balanced out. And I noticed feeling very emotionally vulnerable a couple times. It's like, this is not me, but why do I feel so off and like really, just very touchy? And all I had to do is take a couple PD 80/20, and it was like 15 minutes later, it was like, bam, I'm back to normal. And I noticed that huge
That's so
horrible
good.
shift.
That is so good. Well, while we're talking, I'm gonna pass around Endoflex. It's good for everybody. But whenever I taught my kids how to use Endoflex, we put a couple drops on, and we put it, on the temple, the back of the neck, on the throat, on the midsection, and the lower back is where our adrenals are, lower abdomen, and then inside or outside of the ankles, and breathe it in really good. And of course, we take our Endoflex Vitality and add it in our Ningxia Red, but I'll pass it on. I also have our Progestins Plus in here, and more game changers, especially for females, for us ladies that there's always ups and downs for all of our hormones. And so whether it is to, for our second oldest daughter, Elise, she loves her Progestins Plus and Endoflex for emotional support. Because, this was something that I learned a long time ago, was when your body is struggling to balance hormones, your brain cannot properly process emotions.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, you can trace all the way back from birth all the way to however old you are, or the people in your life, like all the way until we die. There's always times that our hormones are in flux, and so it is important for us to be aware of supporting our endocrine system so that not only our body, we feel better, but we also feel better emotionally.
And another thing too is, I think a lot of people don't realize that when you're trying to balance your hormones, your body's trying to do that, your liver is very important. So supporting your liver, because that's kind of the processing plant for a lot of your hormones. And our hormones are, yes, Juvaflex, all your Juva products to support your liver. But also that you can be, a lot of times we think that we're lacking in hormones, but there are times when we can be in excess of our hormones. And so sometimes we need more of one thing to balance out the other thing. And anyway, so it's just important to make sure if you go back and watch our first show on the digestive system, getting that foundational health in order, because if not, that will also affect your hormones. And if you're trying to balance your hormones without getting that system in check, you're going to struggle. It's going to be a lot harder.
For sure.
Absolutely. We have more supplements. Endogize is wonderful for supporting the entire endocrine system, and guys can take it too. There's another one, thyromin.
I didn't take that.
Okay, thyromin stories.
And I mean, the name tells you what it does, right? It's supportive of the thyroid. I like to also take it in the morning to support my adrenals. So at nighttime, much like CortiStop, it can help you to relax before bed and enter into that really good REM sleep that you need. But in the morning, it's actually something that can help with the way that it's formulated will help to strengthen and support your adrenal glands, which is, we think about the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous systems, and what we're bombarded with in our culture today, and just this time of year especially, when there's so many, you're being pulled in different directions, the holidays, and you're putting yourself out there into parties and relatives and maybe traveling. And so really to support your adrenal glands and give them that extra love with the thyromin is important.
You know, I remember when I first started taking thyromin, I would just take one right before bed, and Gary would always say, put it on your nightstand, and have it right there, right before you go to sleep, the best that you can. Because if you take it a little too early, those nutrients will go to the adrenals and give them some support, and you could feel like, oh, I'm awake. So anyway, I would take it right before bed, and I started noticing pretty right away, within just a few days, that in the morning time when I would wake up, I felt more ready to jump out of bed and ready for my day. And I didn't realize how much my joints were already feeling stiff. And I was feeling like, oh, I gotta get up out of bed. But then whenever I take thyromin, it's a lot easier for me to be like, okay, I'm ready to tackle my day. And I don't have that period of like, gotta wake up, you know? And so I'm just like ready. And my joints were moving just fine, which is so interesting. It's like, how does that even work? I don't know, but that's what thyromin does for me, and I absolutely love it.
Another good one for kind of regulating that sleep-wake cycle is Super B. You kind of wouldn't think, but if you're taking Super B in the daytime, like in the morning, by the end of the evening, your body is ready for bed, because that nutmeg is really supporting your adrenal glands during the day. And then by the time the sun goes down and it's ready for bed, your body's ready for that rest. And so you naturally kind of helps to regulate that circadian rhythm and support those adrenals at the same time.
That's awesome.
I was taking thyromin because I'd heard Sarah say, oh, it helps me jump out of bed in the morning. And I was taking it. I was like, okay, this is okay. I knew I needed it, but I wasn't feeling, kind of like the Nisha. When I first started taking the Nisha, I didn't feel a change. But then I'm over 50 and I needed more support. So I started taking the Fimogen, and I was taking Fimogen in the morning and thyromin at night, and that was all fine. And I heard from somebody that I should take the Fimogen at night as well as the thyromin. And so when I started putting those two together right before bed, my sleep improved, and that's when I started jumping out of bed in the morning. Let's get things done. And I was like, okay, this is the way I used to be when I was in my 20s. I get up in the morning and get a bunch done before 10 a.m., So that's my go-to now is Fimogen and thyromin right before bed. And I'm like,
Add to cart. I'm a night owl, and the mornings are not my friend, so I'm like, well, be taking Fimogen and thyromin from now on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Amanda.
And I'm so excited to be in the kitchen with you, friend. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one time you had this Young Living event. You were doing a class, and you invited me to come, and we were both teaching about our Young Living essential oils and our supplements and everything. And you were like, Sarah, I'm gonna make a few things with our Young Living products. And I get to your house, and it's this whole spread. And it's like all the oils and the Young Living
Yes.
Einkorn and everything. And it was so delicious. And you're
Yes.
such an amazing host and a
Thank you.
phenomenal cook.
Thank you.
And I love your food.
Thank
and
you.
so that's why I asked you into my kitchen.
This is a long time coming. Let me just say, it's been a while, and we have planned this for a very, very
Yes,
long time.
We have. And so this was one of the dishes that
Yes.
I ate at your house. It was so amazing.
Thank you.
And I said, please make this. And what is it called?
So this is the Einkorn Harvest Bowl, and let me just say there is a recipe on the internet that probably is a different recipe, but it uses farro. Farro is a whole grain, but also the einkorn is a whole grain. And so what I just did was substitute the farro for the einkorn berries, and they're phenomenal.
Oh my goodness. Yes,
they're
they
so
are.
good for you.
They
They're
come in
super
a
healthy.
huge bag, and I'm pretty sure it's a 5-pound bag.
So this will last you a very long time.
Yes, it really does.
Yes.
And they store forever. You re-zip
Yes.
it, and they store for a very, very long time.
Right.
And so the einkorn berries, if you want to know how to cook them, the instructions
Yes.
are on the bag. But there's so many things. A lot of people just think, oh, I'm going to use the einkorn berries and I'm going to grind them into flour, which yes, you
great.
definitely can do that.
I've made the bread. It's really
Yes.
delicious. Yes.
But when Amanda served this, I hadn't thought of just cooking the einkorn berries and making a dish with them. So, so show me, tell us,
Sure.
Tell us how the recipe goes and what
Yeah.
you did.
Let me first explain the einkorn berries. So the einkorn berries, it's about 1.5 cups of dried einkorn berries makes 3 cups of cooked berries. So it is a large amount that comes out of a little bit. And so what I like to do is I like to just cook them, especially when I'm going to do a salad. The dressing, it's going to soak up the dressing and the flavor. So I just want to cook them in salt water, boiling salt water. Nothing fancy about that. If you put a little dash of salt right on there, it also gives it flavor, and then you squeeze and release. And now it's going to even release more of those juices, which get it really tender. So you can start to eat this right away once you start massaging it. But I'm going to start to add all the different ingredients. Now, what you could do, two things. I can put everything on the plate, or I can actually put the dressing on the kale. That's what I like to do. So I'm going to use half of this dressing on the kale because the other half is going to be for something else. But before I do that, I'm going to add black pepper, 1 drop of black pepper.
So that's
our
black
Vitality.
pepper, Vitality.
Just 1, and there's 2, but that's okay. It's a little spicy. It's great. And then we're going to do 2 drops of lemon.
Okay, and here's what I love about cooking with our Young Living Vitality oils is that we get not only amazing flavor
Yes.
that it packs a punch,
Yep.
huge punch of flavor, but then we also have all those wonderful health beneficial properties that we know and love from our Young Living oils, such as the lemon that's high in D-limonene, that's amazing for supporting our immune system.
Yes.
And so cooking with our Young Living Vitality oils it's a wonderful thing to support our
wonderful thing.
family's health and wellness.
Yes. So if you're ever wondering how to get these oils into your family, a lot of it is through the cooking. Okay, so I like to do things with my hands. Obviously, you can see that. So what I'm going to do is just take this bunch of kale and spread it over this plate. And can you already see how tender it is? It's super tender. And then I'm just going to plate it up with some roasted sweet potato right in the center.
Oh my goodness.
And all I did was basically put this in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes, salt and pepper it with a little EVOO, and then we're going to do the einkorn berries. And I like to do these little pockets of berries. 1 here, 1 over here. I like to decorate the plate. Let me just say, my grandmother always taught me that a plate that's nicely done makes the food taste better. I don't know.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know if that's true, but I do this every time, and the kids seem to eat my food, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to do these, which are pomegranate. Now, some people don't like the taste of a pomegranate, but I absolutely love it.
I love pomegranate seeds. I love the little burst of flavor
Me
and
too.
juice when you bite into them.
Me too.
It's just,
Okay, so then let me make a little pocket because over here is supposed to be the. And now I'm putting in the goat cheese. This is going to give that tart flavor and, of course, that cheese yumminess to this whole dish. All right, girl. Are you almost ready to eat
that
this?
looks so good.
Okay.
Okay, so you already had made one for
already
me
made one for you. Because happy Friendsgiving!
Yay! I know. It's November.
It is November.
And it's Friendsgiving, and
It
I
is.
know you were
Let
like,
me wash my hands really quickly. I'm gonna just do a little of this, a little of this, because guess what? I forgot to get a towel. Okay, so you have now your own.
yes, because we're not
20.
sharing.
We're not sharing.
We're not
at all.
sharing.
Okay, now before I did not put the dressing on that one. So you
Okay,
have
so
to-
this is an option
So this is
to
an
do it
option.
at the end. Ooh, I like that. I do like how there's some dressing reserved
Yes.
for the top as
Okay.
well.
And a golden fork.
Okay, there's your fork.
Okay, y'all ready for this?
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my word, I gotta
Okay,
taste
you gotta
the
get the
Einkorn.
perfect bite.
Oh, I gotta get, okay, wait.
You know what the
hold on.
perfect bite is, everyone? It's a little bit of everything
Okay,
in
I
your
gotta
bite.
get it.
Okay?
Okay, wait,
Just
hold
like
on.
that, just
See,
like
look at
that.
you. You can get the bites. I can't get the
You
pomegranate
can get the
seeds.
bites.
Okay, it's
ready?
kind of on.
Cheers.
Oh my word. I taste the lemon. It brightens up the whole dish. The pop of those pomegranate seeds, a burst of juiciness.
And can you taste that like double black pepper? It's a little
Yes.
spicy, and I love it.
But I love it like that. I
Oh
love
my
that black
goodness, y'all.
pepper. And the goat cheese is so creamy. And the Einkorn berries.
With those roasted
They're so good.
sweet potatoes that kind of give that sweetness to it, right?
Yes. It's so good. Oh my word, y'all have to try this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this. Do it.
It's so good.
Now.
Hi, I'm Laura,
And I'm Max.
and we're Farm Junkies, and we're here at the Fall Festival at Mona, Utah, and we want to talk to you about the seed to seal process. Behind us is some juniper, and Max is going to tell us why we have the whole tree here.
So when Gary started the whole harvesting process, he discovered that in the trees, like what we have here with the juniper, there's oils all the way through from the right at ground level all the way through to the top to the needles, and in this case, the juniper needles. This will all be run through the chipper, and it'll break the material up to where when the distillation process starts, then it can get extract all of the compounds that are in this particular plant, as we said, juniper.
I remember learning at one of the Young Living conventions, we were learning all about progesterone and the important jobs that it does in the body. And a lot of people think that progesterone is just the baby making, baby keeping hormone, but it does other very important things as well, such as cooling the arteries. And that's super important because what is still the #1 killer of women is heart disease.
Yeah.
And so our arteries need to be nice and cooled off. And so that's one of the other jobs that progesterone does. And another thing too is it helps to regenerate the myelin sheath around the nerves. So
Yes.
remyelination is very important. So some women, that may be in perimenopause, postmenopause, maybe they've had a hysterectomy and they're like, well, I don't think I need progesterone. Really look into that. Do some more research to learn more about the important jobs that progesterone does in your body. And so that's why I love these supplements. I love my Progestins Plus.
Well, and recent research has suggested that every single cell in a woman's body has a progesterone receptor. So what that means is it's not just your female organs that need progesterone. It's every single cell in our bodies. And so it's important that we're, not just saying, oh, well, I don't need that anymore. We just stop taking it.
Yeah.
You need it forever. Might not need as much.
I get questions all the time about how do I use Progestins Plus, and so I just, what I learned from the very beginning, as soon as it came out, we were learning this at the Young Living Convention. Dr. Purser was showing us how to use it, and so I just put a couple of drops on my hot spots, over where I have arteries, that it can very quickly get to into my bloodstream. And so I put it there. I'll put it on the inside of my wrist, on the abdomen, behind the knees. Like, I know that one of my daughters, during that time of the month, like she would put it on her back, on her lower back, and it helped her. And so, and I know, you know, Dr. Purser will say, start taking it, like when you start, take it at nighttime, because an increase in progesterone can actually help you sleep, you know, help with sleep. And so for me personally, I can take it any time of day. I take it when I feel like I need to, whether I'm having some emotional ups and downs, or if I'm like all of a sudden midway through the day, like ticked off at everybody, and it was like I woke up nice and happy that all of a sudden a switch happened.
You take it when Darren brings it to you, and you're like, yes, I think you need this,
I
honey.
was gonna say that, and my husband's actually over on the other side of the camera, and he would sometimes he'll ask me, "Have you had your Progestins Plus today?" Yeah. So that's code
From a
word
safe space.
That's code word for you need your Progestins Plus. I mean, like I just need it. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. But anyway, I know everybody
When
loves
I
it.
first started taking it, I too also was putting on my carotid artery and on my neck and my chin, and this area started breaking out. And so what I did, I didn't stop taking it, because a lot of times people get scared and they're like, oh, you know, I can't handle it. What my body was trying to use it. And so I started working, had my cleanse, worked on my liver, Juvatone. Your liver is so important for your endocrine system and being able to filter and process all of the things you need. I just started putting it on my forearms. It's just kind of become a habit. And I can put it on my carotid arteries now just fine, but I had to work through. So if that, I've heard people saying if it becomes where you're starting to have breakouts or anything, just start looking at, okay, why? Instead of, oh, this is bad for me, it's what's going on in my body. I know I need the progesterone. I know it's helpful for me. What do I need to do? So I went to my gut and I went to my liver. So
Yeah, I also ramp it as well. So if like, you know, if I'm a little ticked off at everybody and I use a few drops, and it's still not quite there, then I'll use some more. It's dosed in such, you know, small amounts per, you know, couple drops of the progesterone that's in this, that, you know, I can ramp it up as I need to. So I'll just do an extra 5 drops. Every 10-15 minutes for me, and then it's like a light switch, and then all of a sudden, ta-da! I feel so much better. My emotions are more in check, and then too with having a menstrual cycle, with any cramping or things that commonly come along with that, it really helps to take the edge off.
Okay, Dumb Stuff with Oils. You guys have fulfilled the call to give us some videos. We love it. We are not laughing at you. We're laughing with you, right?
And we're learning.
Right? We're laughing with them. Okay, we're laughing at you. I hope you're laughing too.
Kind of.
But if you are sending in videos, we're loving it. So if you want to do that, link below. But today we're going to see Amber. And I got to tell you, I know Amber.
Yeah.
And she's a brilliant person. She's actually taught a class for my my team before, and I gotta tell you,
she should know better.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little surprised she has done dumb stuff, but I guess it means we all have.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. Any
She looks like she's driving. Which she's in the car.
Maybe she shouldn't be driving.
Looking right. Maybe she's getting pulled over.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Let's see what we got.
When I started oiling, my husband was supportive of it, but he didn't really use his oils like I, knew would be good for his health. And so he needed some support. He needed some testosterone.
Put your hand on the wheel, girl.
He needed
drive that car.
Some just hormone and energy
and put your seatbelt on.
And he also even needed some liver support.
Okay,
so,
liver support. I'm with you.
What I did was I started reading on how oils can be used in the bedroom because
that'll get him, make him a believer.
That's just kind of the way to my husband's heart.
Of course.
And his brain.
Pretty much way to every man's heart.
It's the way to get him to listen and try anything. And so I told him, listen, we've got these oils that we can use in the bedroom. And so we tried the ones that are really well known,
argue at all.
Idaho blue spruce, We even tried some of the massage oils.
Did you see her facial expression? She's kind of changed. She looks a little happier thinking about this.
On date night, and
She's a little adventurous, is what she is.
The oils are great, in, on, and around our bodies, so we can, use them.
Very
for all the
big,
things.
sister,
And
but
so
okay, we get you.
I don't want to know more than that.
So then he needed some liver support.
No details
and
needed.
I just, got brave. I knew it was not going to be cinnamon or peppermint on my
Praise the Lord.
Or oregano,
date night
right? Oh my
areas.
goodness.
And so I convinced him that Juva Cleanse was also a date night oil, and was like, listen, babe.
Oh my God.
You got it. It's date night. You got to start using that stuff. And so he was.
That's a strong spot.
So he totally complied.
She's laughing at him.
Well, of course he complied.
Whatever oil I ask him.
He's gonna get it.
So
He's very compliant.
it's getting into his body. It's getting in, on, and around his body.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
I'm benefiting from it also.
She's trying to get it as close as
And, that's
She
the
said I'm
funniest oil story that I have.
Oh my
for
goodness.
you.
Oh my
All the
gosh.
other oil stories,
Wait.
we've gotten it in our eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Ow. Hold on.
First of all, how does that smell?
Well, Juva Cleanse is strong, and it's
A date night aroma?
It's not romantic. I wouldn't say. It's very effective, but not in a romantic way. So I gotta applaud them. They didn't let it stop them.
No fear oiling.
That's right. Are you okay? I know you're new to all this.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
those mucous membranes were fired up.
I had a bottle. I put them in gel caps, right? And I had a bottle, and I put it in the freezer, and something landed on it, and my whole freezer smelled like Juva Cleanse. And it got green.
So you're imagining having
that your
Juva
date
Cleanse
night area smelled like your freezer.
That's a Juva Cleanse. Okay.
I hope he was okay.
Spicy.
Oh well, apparently.
What's in Juva Cleanse?
Is she pregnant now? Baby's an oiler.
Oh my gosh. So
That
funny.
was amazing. Okay, well I thank you, Amber.
Yes.
Thank you. I just you're brave.
Send
And
us your
yes.
stories. Send us your stories.
Definitely send us your stories.
I want to go kind of revisit the littles, supporting the hormones for our kiddos.
Yes.
And with the Endoflex, I know that, like, for my boys, the first time it dawned on me that, oh my word, they have hormones too. Joshua was 10 years old, and he was in the kitchen doing his math homework, and he never cried. He never was sad. He's always just such a happy guy. And he was in there with his math. He was so frustrated. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I'm like, oh my word, what is happening? Like, this is not, he was 10 years old. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay, God, what do I do? And he said, Sarah, balance his hormones. I'm like, oh, he does have hormones too. Boys have hormones. Boys have hormones too. And so I had taken the Endoflex, and how I showed my girls how to use Endoflex to help them. I showed Joshua. And then by that time, this had been several years, almost 10 years into my Young Living journey. I was like, oh, okay, we just need to support our endocrine system all the time for everybody. And so I started Ethan at 7 years old, and I wish I would have done that even sooner because, again, for the 2s, the 3s, even with my grandbaby, I'm a grandma. Even with my grandbaby, we're always, watching all the leaps, those growth leaps, and whenever, even with babies, and toddlers, they're about to, they're just on the edge of that growth leap. But around that time, sleep gets wonky, and and they get cranky and fussy so easily. And so it is easy to just take just a little drop of Endoflex, rub it in your hands, put it on the bottom of their feet, and do a little, tummy massage. You can add a little B6 or coconut oil. But doing that occasionally or as needed, it makes a difference. And you see it. And with our children, with children, they're so receptive. So you really get to see the benefits even faster.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Max.
And we're Farm Junkies. And today we're joined just spontaneously, impeccable timing, with Chris Packer.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Also a farm junkie.
Probably the biggest farm junkie.
Right. So Chris, you followed Gary around all over the world. What's one of the most exotic places that you know that Gary went to find the plants to make Young Living just set apart from any other company?
So I would really consider, in so many places that he traveled, but the most dangerous and most exotic, I would say, definitely would be the Amazon jungle. The dangers, everything that you run into in those jungles, talking to the different shamans, eating all of whatever food they give you, whether that's whatever they can find that day. People coming, some of those tribes are maybe not so happy that you're there, but he always won them over and would connect with them on a personal level, on their families, and really talk about natural medicine. So I would say that was definitely the most exotic.
So which plant can you remember Gary finding in the Amazon area that nobody else has?
I would start with Ocotea. Ocotea. Gary and I went to the Amazon jungle in Ecuador my first year that I was there. He's just started sending me all over the place. And at that point, I didn't speak any Spanish at all.
Oh, wow.
So I got left there after everyone left, and I only spoke enough Spanish to say, hola, ¿cómo estás? And that was it. So I would definitely say Ocotea would be high on the list, Dorado Azul. And then our team has really kept that going with the discovery of the Picotea, which is same family as Ocotea. I consider if you're looking at different conifers, you have your blue spruce, your white spruce, and the Picotea is the same as that.
I see.
It has a very unique aroma, but it's the same family as the Ocotea.
Awesome.
And also the Incan Melissa was a new one that we discovered, continuing Gary's vision.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thanks, Chris, for
pleasure.
doing everything and keeping Gary's vision going.
Shootron, they have Shootron, a whole men's line of Shootron products. But with that in mind, I get questions all the time. What about hormones for men? What do we have? We have Power Drive.
Yes.
Prostate
Prostate health.
is amazing.
Saw palmetto is phenomenal herb for the prostate.
Lots of great studies about saw palmetto. By the way, my husband is a researcher, and I just listen to all his research.
You trying to put a little
Like, hold on. Before you bore me with all your son, and then I'll pay attention.
talk oily to me, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But he was like, because he's trying to get fit, and all this, and so he said saw palmetto is really good for prostate health also, and for all hormone type stuff. And let me just say, my children, one's 17 and the other's 15, they want to get buff, and that was like all
boys.
Yeah. They went to school and there was a bunch of buff guys there, and basically they're like, we want to look like them. And I was like, okay. So that's cool. But let me tell you, Power Drive is going to be your best friend, because it's also going to support those joints and the things that you do repetitiously. You're doing this over and over and over again. It's going to really help those. And so you have fluid in between those joints, the interstitial fluid, keeping it nice and hydrated, obviously drinking water. But the Power Drive really helps to protect those joints. So anyways, they love it.
It's so good.
Well, and this is a whole conversation for another day. But my husband loves Power Drives. Adipose tissue, that gut fat can actually it can wreak havoc on the hormones. And so guys who are looking to work out to build muscle, but to also break down that belly fat, that's going to be huge. So the other thing is Idaho blue spruce, and that's a story for a whole nother day. But my husband is never without it. He carries that's a pocket oil. Idaho blue spruce.
Every man would want Idaho blue spruce once you understand what it does.
A little thing that goes across Idaho blue spruce.
Add
to cart.
Add to cart. If every guy, seriously, really, every guy would want that. And that's why, it supports testosterone levels. It's in Power Drives. It's in
Ladies, if you want your husband to buy into oils, get the Idaho blue spruce.
They will definitely.
I think maybe we need to talk about the whole month. Maybe prepare people for Valentine's Day. Do a little. Let's talk about
We'll
tune back in for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, keep watching, because, you know, you're going to get more of these stories for sure. One last thing that I do want to touch on is oils like clary sage. People are always saying, okay, yeah, but are, you know, phytoestrogens, you know, what about plants that are phytoestrogen? What does that even mean? Actually, the best way that I summarize it for people is that there's certain oils that have the constituents or properties that whenever you're putting them on, breathing them in, they get in the body and they're like, okay, how are we doing? Like going in the body, taking account of, oh, how's your estrogen levels? Like okay, endocrine system. All right, you need some more. Oh, you need some less. Do what you got to do. Do what you do best. And so that's what like clary sage is, just a supporter of estrogen levels in the body. It's not, you know, it's not necessarily going to take you beyond balance. And so using the clary sage vitality, adding that into your tincture red is a wonderful thing, and also putting it on. And I just put it on all those hot spots, those pulse points on my body, and it's definitely, clary sage is amazing, and it's in sclerescence.
Dragon time.
Absolutely. But I wouldn't be afraid of it. You know, there's some women that are like, oh, I'm estrogen dominant, and so I need to stay away from clary sage. I'm like, that's exactly why you would need that. That's exactly why God made plants that have these phytoestrogens to help your body to do what it was made to do, to help bring balance.
Yeah.
And so
It's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching That Oil Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can catch new episodes every first Tuesday of the month. And if you enjoyed learning about these amazing products and want some of your own, reach out to the person who shared That Oil Show with you.